All right, guys, so we got to talk about one of the most insane stories about what's going on in our children's schools that I've ever heard in my life. Again, when you live in a sane country, you don't hear about stories like this. However, we have fallen off a cliff in this country. Wokeness is running rampant. It is something that, again, is destroying this country. It's destroying these schools, and it is destroying our children. And this story right here is a prime example of it, as we have a super duper woke Chicago school at the center of a Project Veritas hit offering affinity groups for pre-K, says white kids can't attend. So they are basically promoting segregation for kids in pre-K. Okay, and that's not the only thing they're doing. They're doing something even worse than that. But we're going to read about all of it here because, again, this is just absolutely insane. But before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. $2,000. That's where gold is headed. The growth will continue throughout 2023, with gold prices remaining elevated at an average price of $2,086 an ounce. All this is according to Bank of America, and it looks like they are right. At the beginning of December, gold crossed $1,800 and still climbing. If this year has taught us anything, it's that tangible assets are the only assets you can count on, like gold. It's time to open a gold IRA. Crypto keeps tanking. Stocks are too volatile. Gold in your IRA is steady. So what are you waiting for? It's not too late. Thousands of people have retired comfortably with the help of Noble Gold Investments and their gold and silver IRAs. If you've been a hesitant investor, but one of the handful of Americans who can go for gold and silver in your IRA, now's the time to act. And this month, you'll get a free 3-ounce American silver virtual coin with every qualifying $20,000 IRA purchase or rollover today. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments. Call 877-646-5347 to find out more, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. An elite Chicago private school at the center of a new Project Veritas undercover sting video offers affinity groups for children as young as 4 that white students aren't permitted to attend, Fox News Digital has learned. Francis W. Parker School went viral Wednesday after Project Veritas posted a video showing Dean of Students Joseph Bruno speaking to an undercover reporter about LGBTQ sex education at the school. Quote, "I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in to the classroom," Bruno said in the edited video. "They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit. They're just like passing around dildos and butt plugs," he continued. "And we had a drag queen come in and pass out cookies and brownies and do photos." Wow. Wow. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay. And if you guys didn't know, there's actually video evidence of this conversation, right? So again, there's two stories here: segregation, and then we have this, okay, which again is absolutely insane. So let's play a little bit of this clip here.
I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
Meet Joe Bruno, Dean of Students at the prestigious Francis W. Parker Private School in Chicago, which happens to charge $40,000 per student.
They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're like, how does this butt plug work? How do we do, like, how does this work? That's a really cool part of my job.
Parents might be stunned to learn that Bruno's version of love and acceptance means handing out sex toys to underage students.
So I've been the dean for 4 years. During Pride, we do a Pride Week every year, and I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about...
Yeah. Absolutely insane. Right? Absolutely insane. Okay? I mean, this is what people are upset about. Right? And the left tells you, no, you need to ignore it. Right? You're making it up. Right? When you use the G word, which is a slur. okay, that they say it's a slur for, LGBTQ, and that's just not the case. But to me, again, I'm just saying, once again, what we have here is a situation where in the name of LGBTQ rights, it sounds like that this guy was exposing children to adult sex toys in the name of LGBTQ rights. Now, again, the left, again, in the same world, it will be on the left to square that away and to say, okay, well, why is it that LGBTQ or educating people LGBTQ has to involve like sex toys? But that's not the side that we're living in. If you question it and you say, yeah, this activity sounds like grooming activity, then you're smeared as a bigot. You're smeared as homophobic, as if sex toys for kids and LGBTQ are the same thing. I don't want to believe that, right? I don't want to believe that. But the left, they're essentially forcing people to believe that by refusing to actually address situations like this and to acknowledge what is actually happening. Instead of that, they just smear everybody as bigots and homophobic simply for pointing out the obvious, which is that when you're talking about an LGBTQ curriculum being pushed in schools, you're also talking about sex. And this is where it leads to, this is where it's going. Because, again, there are people, right, whether they be in the LGBTQ community or if they're straight, it doesn't matter, that think that this type of stuff is okay to push on children. It just so happens that this stuff has been introduced under the guise of, well, it's about diversity and inclusiveness and anti-bigotry and acceptance, when, again, I'm not sure if that's what it's about. I'm not sure the LGBTQ community, the people who are against this stuff, want this stuff to be associated with them. I don't think they want this type of stuff pushed in schools. I don't think they want to promote this stuff to children. I really don't, right? And I want to believe that is a majority of the LGBTQ community. But again, it's stories like this where the left is silent. They don't have anything to say. And if you say anything about it, if you do question about it, they call you a bigot, right? They say you're homophobic. Again, it just leads me to believe that, hey, maybe, I have to draw conclusions that I don't want to draw, right? So let's read more here. The same school, which charges upwards of $40,000 in tuition, offers, quote, students of color affinity groups that meet once a month that are exclusively for pre-K through 12th grade students of color. Yeah, so we have segregation here. SOCA is open to all students in grades JK through 5th grade who self-identify as a student of color and who are interested in participating. The school website states, yeah, so self-identify. So if you're white and you say, I'm a student of color, white is a color, right? Would you be able to participate? While the SOCA groups are only open to students of color through direct intentional programming within the curriculum in the lower and immediate schools, all students have the opportunity to consider their own racial identity and how it plays into their greater sense of self. Okay, I don't understand why anybody would pay $40,000 for kids to go to a school like this, right? Why would you send your kid to a school like this, especially if you're white and you're Christian, right? Why would you pay 40 racks a year to send your kid to a school like this? Quote, while white identity development is absolutely important to a child's development, we know there are a number of factors in the racial identity development process of young children of color that can benefit from direct programming in a way that differs from that of white students, it added, aka racism, right? So we're racist, right? Not only are we pushing this agenda on kids, right? Trying to get them to play with sex toys in front of us, we also are racist, okay? We believe in white identity development. What is that, right? Imagine somebody that was white was like, hey, we have to focus on white identity development, right? What it means to be white, right? So, again, sounds like something that somebody in the KKK would say. The school's website argues that individuals in the United States are considering their racial identities as early as age 3, which is why affinity groups are needed for younger grades. Nikki Neely, founder and president of Parents Defending Education, slammed the affinity groups as immoral. Quote, segregating students by race at any age is immoral, but to do so to 4-year-olds at a school that charges $40,000 per year, no less, boggles the mind, she told Fox News Digital. Quote, rather than teaching small innocent children to be kind to all people, authority figures who these and their parents trust are instead teaching students to view all human interaction through the lens of skin color. Facts. Administrators at Francis Parker should be ashamed of themselves, and families should make their displeasure known so that this programming may end, she added. When reached by Fox News Digital, the school declined to address the affinity groups and only responded to the controversy surrounding Bruno. In a statement, the school appeared to confirm what Bruno said took place in the classroom and directed its criticism at Project Veritas, which is accused of misrepresenting his words. Quote, last week at an industry conference, one of our employees was targeted by a member of Project Veritas and misled to believe he was conversing with another conference attendee over a coffee. The school said he was filming without his knowledge or permission while describing one example of our inclusive LGBTQ affirming and comprehensive approach to sex education. Veritas deceptively edited the video with malicious intent. Okay, so wait. You're admitting that he was describing one example of the so-called inclusive LGBTQ affirming and comprehensive approach to sex education. Wait, so that is a part of your curriculum, right? You're admitting guilt, right? That you're admitting that a part of your curriculum is having kids play with butt plugs and talk about lube versus spit. Is that what you're admitting? But you're also trying to say that Veritas deceptively edited the video with malicious intent. How does that work? Because you just admitted that the malicious part, right, was true. Okay, the worst part of the video you just admitted was true. Again, this is crazy. Parker administrators and Parker's board of trustees support Parker's programming, the strength and inclusivity of our curriculum, and the dedicated and talented faculty and staff that teach it, the school said. Yeah, so they just flat out supporting it. They're flat out supporting it. Project Veritas posted an earlier letter purportedly from Principal Dan Frank to the Parker community that accused the conservative group of malicious intent. Quote, we are sickened by this group's deceptive tactics, their invasion during a people of color conference, and their attack on the LGBTQ plus community, Frank's letter reportedly said. Yeah, so here we go. Right, here we go. Being against kids playing with butt plugs is apparently supposed to be an attack against LGBTQ. So again, who's the one that's associating LGBTQ with these types of activities towards children? Is it the right or the left? Because again, I want to believe that, again, this is not specifically an LGBTQ thing. It just so happens that it's being pushed on the LGBTQ. LGBTQ has been hijacked for malicious purposes. Right? That's what I want to believe. But the left is actually telling me not to believe that. They're actually telling me, no. This is what LGBTQ education is. It is kids playing with butt plugs and talking about lube versus spit. Again, it's absolutely insane. In its response to Fox News Digital, the school did not deny what Bruno said or what he said happened in the classroom. The school did not respond to questions asking whether the school will be offering further explanation for what took place in the classroom, or whether sex toys had ever been introduced by school staff in any classroom with students present. The school also did not respond to Fox News Digital question asking whether it was the school's position that exclusion from affinity groups based on skin color alone is not a racist policy. Yeah, so school has been outed as a full-blown, like, woke school. We're talking about the wokest of the woke, right? They got the racial agenda. They got the other agenda, right, that they're pushing on kids. Man, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. Any parent spending $40,000, any decent parent spending $40,000 to send their kids to a school like that, it's just, I don't understand it. I don't get it, bro. I really don't. Like I said, if I didn't know about this as a parent, and to find this out, I would immediately withdraw my kid from that school and ask for a refund, because this is just absolutely unacceptable. But hey, I mean, they are a private school, right? So, I mean, there's not really all that much I can say. Again, it's not public, they're private, but still, it's extremely messed up that parents would pay to support this type of education, indoctrination of their children. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.